on March 27th, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock across his face. Let's talk about it.
Hey everybody, this is the first episode of UnCancelled. I'm S.
And I'm Ol.
And together we are
SO.
Today we'll be talking about Will Smith. So let's talk about what really happened. As we all know, Chris Rock made the joke about Jada's alopecia, and he referenced it to G.I. Jane.
Honestly, I have never even heard of this show or this movie. I have no idea what it is.
I know, right? When I first heard the joke, I was like, okay, what's so wrong about this?
Yeah, I didn't even understand the joke, okay, to be honest.
I know, and then on TikTok, someone was like, search it up. So I did, and it's like a movie.
Yeah, about some, bald girl.
Yeah.
And apparently this was a reference made. And although this was a very insulting joke that Chris Rock did, what Will Smith did next, no one would have ever thought.
I know. It was like 1 second he was laughing, and the next second
he just got up, went there, and slapped them, right across his face. I don't even know.
But Chris Rock handled it really well, I think, in my opinion. He was, chill about it. He was kind of he didn't, make a big deal about it, at least on stage, which I'm actually really, proud of him.
Yeah, he just walked it off, and he even made a joke about it, and it was how he handled it was gold.
Yeah, because if it was me, I'm honest, I would have run out of the stage or cry.
I would fall and cry. I would be crying, you guys. I would actually be crying, tears, sobbing. I don't understand how he took that. He took it like a king.
Yeah,
dang.
He took it really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was really surprised actually with the slap.
Yeah, it was so out of character and so out of nowhere.
I know, because he's so usually calm and
yeah.
From what I've seen, he's a really calm guy, happy always. I actually follow him on Instagram too.
Oh, I see.
And his posts are always super kind, and he has these dance videos. He's a really funny guy, and so when he slapped Chris Rock, I was like, oh my god.
Honestly, when this whole thing happened, I didn't even know who Chris Rock was. I knew who Will Smith was, but I'm not the biggest the biggest fan of social media. So I was not aware of this until my friend pointed it out. I was like, who? And then I saw the video and I was like, okay, what the heck? Because I've seen Will Smith and he seemed like a really decent guy, and he just went up and slapped him. That's yeah. And I'm guessing those who were at the Oscars that night probably had a very dramatic night as well.
It was. And a lot of people after complaining about how Will Smith got to stay at the Oscars. He wasn't, escorted out.
Exactly.
And, I don't know, maybe this is, kind of, not fair because he's, really famous. Or was it just because, they decided he wasn't a threat anymore? Kind of what happened.
Yeah, and also, it was not... it was very unfair for the others who went after him because everyone was just thinking about the slap, and I feel really bad for the other very famous actors and actresses who kind of got their night ruined. Exactly. And plus, it was Will Smith's first Oscar,
I know.
And this is what he decides to do.
It's a night to be remembered.
Yeah.
Whether for good or bad, it's will be forgotten really easily.
Exactly. And so, what does this have to do with our podcast? Well, as you kind of know, our podcast is aimed towards canceled culture. And right now, people are deciding whether Will Smith should be canceled.
What do you think?
For me, honestly, I think that what he did, it was really messed up. He just, out of nowhere, he slapped Chris Rock. But at the same time, Chris Rock did make the joke. But in my opinion, I'm kind of on Chris Rock's side. Because even though it was a joke and it was very insulting, what Will Smith did was he physically, assaulted him on stage in front of, millions of people.
Especially, it was, on TV and everything. And it was really uncalled for. Obviously, a joke should have not been made. But they're both comedians, and I've also seen, Will Smith make jokes about other people as well. So, as a comedian, obviously he should have, took Chris Rock to the side and be man, this is not cool. But, in front of everybody, just acting out, it was kind of impulsive, and I don't really think he should have done that.
Yeah, what he should have done is what he should have just told him, hey, stop it, right? verbally tell him that instead of just going up there and just slapping him. It was very out of character.
Exactly. And, I mean, obviously I can see from both sides. If someone insulted someone that I love very much, I would be very upset about that. But I would think it'd be better to use your words over violence.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it was Chris Rock's like job to like make a joke out of like I guess the audience or like the Oscar nominees. So it was kind of his job, and at the same time, it was very insulting. It was not a joke that was like good. But at the same time, Will Smith should have realized that hey, this is the Oscars. This is just a joke.
Yeah, it didn't mean any harm for the most part, and I'm sure Chris Rock didn't mean it in like a very insulting way, because if you can just look at the way he said it, he just kind of wanted to make a joke, kind of make the Oscars a light kind of mood, especially because like lately everything has been so down and stuff. It was just kind of his attempt failed, but I don't think he meant it in an insulting way.
Yeah. For our opinion is like Will Smith should not have slapped Chris Rock, but Chris Rock should not have made the joke. And this is what a lot of people have been like this the whole controversy like who is right, who is wrong. So what are your thoughts? Like who is actually right?
Honestly, it's really hard to tell. It's a very close call because they're both in the wrong that night. But obviously, I think that, Chris Rock, I feel like he was more in the right because although he did, insult Jada, but I think he apologized after too.
Yeah, he did.
But Will Smith did not apologize, especially because he, like, physically assaulted Chris Rock. He did not apologize. He apologized to everyone else. He was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like the whole time when he got his Oscars, he went up on stage, looked at everyone, apologized to the Academy, to everyone, except Chris Rock.
Exactly. So, I feel like Chris Rock, he did apologize. He didn't mean as an insult, I feel like he was more in the right because he handled it way better than Will Smith did. Will Smith kind of just, was very impulsive. And I think he's holding a grudge, which, I don't know, I don't think he should do.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because, honestly, Will Smith, he slapping Chris Rock did not make sense. It was very out of character, and I think I've said that like 3 times already. But what I mean is, if there's like a dispute, we shouldn't be using violence, and especially since Will Smith was such an influencer to many people, the fact that he slapped Chris Rock on stage was very wrong and immoral of him to do because he knew that he is like a very big influencer, and many kids will see this and they'll think, oh hey, like maybe it's okay if my friend insults me, I should have the right to slap them, which it should not.
Yeah, like I've been watching him for a very long time. Like I watch Fresh Prince like all the time. Like
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
So I watch him all the time. So I was a pretty big fan of his. Like I think he's a great actor. Like I've seen a lot of his movies and stuff. So it was a pretty big shock to me. And now I'm kind of like is this guy really who I thought he was?
Yeah, and then also it like made me realize, hey, a lot of celebrities we don't really know what goes behind the like screen, like they could be showing us how they're so good in like camera, on the internet, but like we don't really know who they are deep down.
Yeah, it's it kind of makes you think more about like celebrities and as you said, who they really are deep down because it's really easy to kind of pretend to be somebody else. I feel like we all kind of do it at some point too. When we meet somebody for the first time, we might,
Oh please, everyone judges everyone.
Yeah.
But like with celebrities, you can't really judge them because it could be just an actor playing since it's all edited, everything.
I know, and so, I feel like this wasn't a very good Oscar year for a lot of reasons, but this being the main
But at the same time, it's the only Oscars that I've ever heard about, and I think it goes along like the lines of
publicity
a lot of people.
Stunt, you think?
Maybe, but no, it's very doubtful because at the end of the day, Will Smith did send like a message on Instagram, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did.
Basically, in the post, Will Smith like apologized for his behavior publicly to Chris.
Yes, he did.
What are your thoughts like about this?
I mean, I think it's good he apologized. He understands that his actions were not right and how he should have not done that. But I still think he should have, thought it out on the spot.
Yeah, and honestly, this apology seems like very like doesn't seem very sincere because like on the day you could tell he was not apologetic. He did not feel sorry. He like made it pretty clear.
I mean, I get it. Someone insulting your wife, it's a big deal, and what she's dealing with is not easy, and it's really hard on her. So I get it, but not the right way to handle it.
And honestly, we don't really know who wrote this. I mean, of course, it's Will Smith. Like, it's from his social media account. But then again, who spent the time to write this? Was it him? Was it his lawyers? Was it his like managers?
Or,
Yeah,
I still feel like I don't know if he did this or not, but he should apologize face to face.
Yeah, like, and no, it's never a good thing to use violence ever, okay? Unless it's like out of self-defense, like if you're defending yourself, that's the only time I would think to use violence. Otherwise, it's so uncalled for. Like if someone insults you, don't go at it with violence. It's just not the way. And also, like with Chris Rock, he didn't even press charges. Like
I'm very shocked.
Yeah, I thought
celebrities are like quick on that.
Yeah, instead he was apologetic, even though he wasn't even the one who like he was the one who got slapped. Yeah. But however, like he apologized for his joke.
Yeah, so I feel like they both kind of did mend their problems and like
yeah, and I hope that they one day hopefully they apologize, meet face to face.
Become friends because they're both pretty like funny guys, and I feel
I feel like
great personalities.
Yeah, and I feel like they'd match each other.
Yeah, they have like a vibe.
But we'll see. We'll see if they ever like do an interview. We'll see if Will Smith ever talks about this. I'd be so interested if he was to do an interview.
Yes.
Because like I want to know what his side of the story. Why did he do that? Like what was he thinking?
Right.
Because like he was laughing. Like there's a bunch of videos of like TikToks going slow motion, showing him laughing like seconds before.
A second he was laughing, then the next camera shot was him going up to slap.
Exactly, and it's just like slap. I want to know what happened in between.
Right?
Like what did Jada say something to him?
Yeah, it was and yeah, it was I was very shocked. Like I cannot stop saying that, but I was very shocked with this whole thing.
I was really surprised. I didn't even when I first actually saw it. My friend, she just showed me her phone. I was like, "Look, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock," and I was like, "What?" Like I thought it was staged because it looked so like I don't know, generic. I don't know what the word random. Is, but like, it was so random.
It was. I felt like it would be really awkward for the audience.
The audience, they just stood there like, now what? Okay.
It was
and I think everyone thought it was a joke at first, right? We thought that it was planned because like he didn't seem like he like actually like hated him. And then afterwards he's like, "Shut your effing mouth!"
Yeah, it's like get your wife's name out of your mouth. And
so scary. Like I cannot imagine being in the audience. If you guys were in the audience,
I would never host anything ever
again.
again.
I would, and all the other comedians, they were probably so scared after that. They're probably like, oh my god, like looking through their jokes, making sure there's like nothing insulting.
I know, right? Like, yeah, I think the audience has been like really awkward, just sitting there like they don't know what's gonna happen anymore. Cause
and then afterwards, and Chris Rock handled it like a champ. He just went, okay, guys,
continued on.
Yeah, and what did he say? He said something about this being the greatest in history.
Oh, the night or
the night like history will remember. Like that was that was so. Oh, he like that. It shows how great of a character he is, and the fact that he didn't press charges just shows how much how more mature he was than Will Smith.
Yes. So do you think Will Smith should be canceled?
That's the question, isn't it? Let me think. Honestly, I think this this was one of the things that we'll remember for Will Smith. Like, when I think about Will Smith, I'm going to think of him as an aggressive person. And I think a lot of people are going to do that too. Should he be canceled for this?
I think it depends on who his fans are. You know, if they can relate with Jada, and I feel like if they support, like, you know, they can feel how she's feeling, they might support Will Smith and his actions because, you know, having like, your loved one being insulted in front of all those people is a pretty big deal. But I feel like those people who also see it from Chris Rock's point of view and how he like should not been slapped would probably start to kind of, you know, form that like I guess kind of cancel him, but I don't know, I guess it depends on his fans, you know, and people who follow him, like what do they think is a bigger deal, like, you know, insulting someone or how you react to it.
Yeah, and honestly, the whole point of cancel culture depends on the majority, obviously. But for me, I think that he should probably get canceled. I don't think he deserves his platform, and that's my own opinion.
Okay, well, why do you think that though?
I think because he had the platform, he had the time to be an influencer, and he's handled it very wrongly. And I think being an influencer is being able to take responsibility for all of your actions and knowing that you are influencing young kids, teenagers, like we are teenagers, okay? And it's kind of like he knows that he was like an influencer, yet he chose to slap Chris Rock in front of everyone.
I agree with that. Like, a lot of celebrities make mistakes. You know, we're humans, all of us.
Oh, obviously, we're all human, but it was very immature.
Yeah, and him not apologizing after, that's very petty, I think, because, you know, he made an impulse decision, it's done, but he could at least kind of show some remorse for it, show that, you know, he didn't, like, you know, mean it, or even if he did, he, you know, he apologizes for it. But he didn't, which kind of shows that he thinks what he did was right.
Yeah, and after he even went partying. So
yeah, and so I don't think he's very like sorry about slapping Chris, and it kind of shows that, you know, he's kind of like okay with violence, and
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And maybe he doesn't really think that, but from what we see and hear him doing, it shows that he is, and it could influence a lot of kids. Like nowadays with social media, like people from all around the world can see what's happening. So they can be like, oh my god, you know, it could be like a pretty bad thing.
Okay, so what do you guys think at home? Do you think that Will Smith deserved to be canceled? Tell us what you think in either our TikTok or our Instagram.
Yeah, you can go to UnCancelled Instagram and, you know, comment on our posts what you think about Will Smith, and do you think he should be canceled or not, and why?
And so that was the first episode of UnCancelled.
I'm S.
And I'm O, and we were your hosts for UnCancelled.
Thank you for listening.
Tune in next time if you want more.
Bye. Bye.